Hello, I'm Nicole, and this is the Phenomenal Woman series. My guest today is a mother, a wife, and a big believer that you can achieve anything you want in life as long as you put your mind to it. She has overcome many adversities in her teenage years to now be a successful entrepreneur. My guest today is Keisha-Gay Smith. Hello, Keisha, and welcome to the Phenomenal Woman series. Let's start. Who is Keisha-Gay Smith?
Who is Keisha-Gay Smith? I am a mom, a wife, entrepreneur, a firecracker. Oh my God. I am very outspoken, outgoing personality, a country girl. I grew up in the country. My mother was a domestic helper, so she didn't have the time for us. So she sent me to live with my grandma in the country along with my other siblings. And I grew up with my grandma and my grandpa, who I am forever grateful to because they did an excellent job raising us. They really did. And I attended Wanstead Primary School. Growing up in the country, it wasn't easy. As a country girl or a country child, you got to get up in the morning, go to the bush, fetch firewood, carry water on your head, move the goat, the donkey. You know, all of them look at something there when you grow up a country. Yes, I wouldn't change it for the world because as a kid growing up, it was fun. Helping my grandma on the farm, I mean, it was fun doing all of those stuff, but then life isn't the way you wanted it to be. Unfortunately, then I got pregnant when I was 14 years old, and after getting pregnant, I moved back to Kingston and I went back to high school. I went to Tarrant High School, and after Tarrant High School and having more kids, I went on to Hart College of Beauty Services where I pursue my career in the beauty field, and I am beyond grateful because look at me now. Yes, this is me, Keisha-Gay Smith, Mrs. Buyer. I recently got married. Yes, how I met my husband. He jumped into my inbox. He was in my inbox kicking up a storm, and I wasn't even giving him the time of day because I wasn't interested, because you know what? I was coming out of a relationship and I wasn't interested in dating, but he was persistent and we exchanged numbers, and the same day I gave him my number, he called me, and I didn't want him to call me every day, but can I tell you, he called me every day until today. So, well, I didn't plan on migrating to the States until after I got married, but things happen. My husband met in an accident earlier last year, and I had was to come over to the States, take care of him, and that's when he decided, you know what, baby, we set our wedding date for next October, which is this October. So why not just go to the courthouse, get married, and get it over with? So I did just that. So I am now Mrs. Buyer. So that's Keisha-Gay. This is me.
Keisha, tell us what three things makes a woman phenomenal?
Three things that make a woman phenomenal: a woman with ambition, a woman who is not afraid to go after her goals, a woman who go into a male dominated world and owned it. I would say a woman who set goals, achieve them, and a woman who is not afraid to own who she is.
Keisha, you now reside in the US, but you grew up in rural Jamaica and you've had to overcome several adversities, one of them being a teenage mother. Tell us, what was that like and how were you able to use that difficulty in your life to transform where you are now?
What's like being a teenage mother? It was hard. Imagine growing up in rural Jamaica and you are pregnant. It was like a taboo in my community to be pregnant. I was crucified, chastised, talked about. I was like the topic in the community. And you would think that you would have gotten support from women, but actually they are the ones who make me feel like I don't need to be there. So my mother decided that I should move back to Kingston, and I moved back to Kingston. And after having my son, I went back to high school. And after leaving high school, I couldn't get a job because I think I was like 16, 17 at the time. So I went to work on a construction site. So yes, I carry cement bucket. Yes, you know what they do on a construction site. And I even work in wholesale. Like, it wasn't easy, like finding a legit job to take care of a child. And unfortunately, I found myself in a situation where by the time I was 19, I was onto my second child. And by the time I think I was 23, 24, I was pregnant again. And that's when I decided that I'm going to go back to school. And after having that third child, I went to beauty school, and halfway through beauty school, I discovered that I was pregnant, and I was like, Keisha, you know what? This cannot be my life. This is not how I envision my life. I cannot stop because I have three children already. Another one is on the way. If I stop, it's gonna be worse than what the situation is. So I went through beauty school. After giving birth, I took a 2 weeks break from school. I got notes from my classmates, and after the 2 week was up, I went back to school. And after I finished beauty school, I couldn't get a job in Kingston. I applied to different places, and they keep telling me, oh, you need more experience. You just leave beauty school. We need somebody with experience. I remember one morning, I got up, I leave Kingston 5 a.m. in the morning. I took a bus to Westmoreland with a couple of my resume. And after I got to Westmoreland, I took a taxi to Negril, and I dropped my resume off all the way from West End to Norman Manley Boulevard. And I think it was about 2 weeks after I dropped my resume off, I got a call from a spa manager asking me if I can come in to do an interview. After I got off the phone with her, I was like, oh my God, I should have told her to schedule the interview for a different time, because she scheduled the interview for the next day at noon, and I was in Kingston. My hair was, I think I dyed it some red orangey color. I didn't have time to change the color. I didn't even have a proper outfit to wear to my interview, but nonetheless, I still went to the interview. And while she was doing my interview, she was looking at my attire, but I am grateful to her because she gave me a chance. Based on how the interview went, she saw something in me that I probably didn't see, and she gave me a chance. And I went there, I did a month of training, and after my training, I worked with them for like 2 years. And after the 2 years, I decided that I need to get something better. So I needed to grow. And that's when I applied to a different spa. And I have been with them until I resigned last year. It was an amazing experience. I was able to provide for my family.
What are some of the things that you think that as parents and guardians we can impart to our children, particularly our young girls, so that they do not end up in the situation that you found yourself in at an early age?
I want to say to mothers out there, please listen to me. As it relates to your daughters, please make it be comfortable for them to come to you and talk to you about just about anything. Your daughter shouldn't be out there talking to somebody else about something that they should be talking to you about. Educate your daughters about sex. Educate them about abstinence. Educate them about peer pressure. I mean, I know for some people it's an uncomfortable topic to discuss with your daughters, but believe me, if my mother had talked to me about sex, believe me, I would not have been in the situation that I've been in, because I didn't know anything about sex. I would say I was out there experimenting. I heard about sex, I want to try it, and I did. And I ended up being pregnant and was chastised for it. So please talk to your daughters about sex, abstinence, and just about anything. Let your daughters be comfortable to come to you first. You should be the first person on their list that they come to. Also, I want to say to teenagers out there who are in a similar situation to what I've been in, this is not the end of the road for you. Do not let anybody tell you that you are worthless, you are no good, and having a child at that age is going to hinder your progress. It's not going to happen like that. You got to get up, motivate yourself, go back to school. And mothers, I'd also like to say to you, if you have a teenage daughter out there who is pregnant, if you can assist that daughter to babysit the child, I don't know what the circumstances and the situation is, but if you can assist that child with taking care of her child so she can go back to school, get a proper education, get a skill, something that would ease a lot of the poverty I've seen around with teenage mothers with kids who can't help themselves because, you know what, they're not financially stable to take care of a child. They don't have a certain level of education to at least some form of skills to get them through basic life needs. I mean, it is not the end of the road, girls. I mean, chin up. I mean, a lot of people are going to say a lot of things. I've been there. I've done that. I was crucified. I was made to feel like I killed Jesus. But you know what? I used those same stepping stones that they used to throw at me to achieve stuff. And this is where I'm at in life. I'm a successful businesswoman, a makeup artist, an esthetician, I'm a bridal hairstylist, you name it. I wore many sleeves. I'm now a married woman. I'm a mom. I got more kids after being a teenage mother. Look at me today. I overcome not being able to find my next meal. I overcome going to the shop to buy a diaper for $15. And as soon as I put it on, the baby mess it up and I don't have a next dime to buy another diaper. So do not let anybody belittle you, use their mouth to say stuff to make you feel bad. Okay? Another thing I want to address is male. These big grown ass men out there who are preying on little girls because of certain circumstances. A lot of little girls probably don't have stuff like, they're not fortunate enough, their parents is not fortunate enough to give them stuff to make them to a better life. You have those men who use stuff like that to reel the little girls in. Okay, so another point I want to touch on as it relates to single mothers. Do not let any man make you feel as though you are not worthy. You got to set standards. You got to set goals. You got to know what you're looking for, especially when it comes to looking for a partner. I know it's hard. I know what it feels like being a single mother and raising children, especially when you have to go to work, going to a full-time job, coming home to take care of the kids. It is not easy. Stop telling yourself that there is no good men out there, because there is. The moment you get into that mindset that, you know what, the man not gonna want me with so much kids, or the man not gonna take me up, because, listen girl, no, do it, no, stop it. I have 4 kids. My last relationship, My partner then, well, after the relationship was over, he told me, you know what, you got 4 kids. Who the hell is going to take you up with 4 kids? Look at me. I'm Mrs. I'm a married woman. I am a married woman, and yes, my husband loved my kids just as much as he loved me. You need to set goals and standard. You don't need to listen. You have to, and another thing too, you have to be careful about the men you bring around your children. Okay, you have to decide that, you know what, this is the person I want to settle down with. This is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. So don't just go out there, go take up one man because you feel lonely and feel like you need one man, and bring the man home, go introduce to the children. It took me a while to introduce my spouse to my children officially, because you know what, I wanted to make sure that this is who I'm going to be spending my life with. The one thing my kids can't say, they've never seen me with a bunch of different men. And I've seen a lot of single mothers out there. It's like they're testing the water. Nothing is wrong going out, dating, and just testing to see if this is the person for you. But you got to know when to stop. So.
Keisha, a lot of women would think that you have to have a university degree, you have to have a bachelor's or a master's or a PhD to be successful. But you have dispelled that myth. What type of advice would you want to give to young persons, particularly young women who are listening to this interview?
Oh, Nicole, that's a great question. I just want to say to especially young girls out there, you do not have to have a university degree. You don't have to have a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, or a PhD to be successful. Listen, there are so many places in this world that your skills can take you that no university degree can ever get you through those doors or even get you to those places. So do not let anybody belittle you or let anybody makes you feel less of a person because you did not go to college or went to university to obtain a degree. Listen, when you have your skills, my darling, you got to hone that. You got to personalize it. You got to make it yours. It is yours. Nobody can take your skills. Listen, when I was going to beauty school, a lot of females in my class were, they're actually been to college. They're actually been to universities. But you know what? After graduating, they couldn't get a job in the field that they went to school for, or the job wasn't paying them enough to even take care of their student loan. And let me tell you something, that's when they realize that they need the skills. I know people right now, I know a lot of people right now who have degrees and are doing the same thing like I am doing. They're makeup artists, they're beauty therapists, they're just doing other skills, because you know what? We all know, especially in Jamaica, let me tell you something, when you have a skill, listen, that's like your ticket to heaven. Believe me, you just have to own it. It is yours, personalize it. It doesn't matter if Jane, Tom, and Ari over there is doing woodworking or carpentry, whatever they call it, or Sue over there is a makeup artist or a plumber. Let me tell you something. Every skill that you have, every skill area that somebody have, or every skill that somebody have, they have their own personal touch to it. Why you think that somebody said, you know what, I want Keisha to do my makeup because I think she does a better finishing, or I want Mary to do my hair because I think she does it. Because you know what, you got to own your skill. It is yours. You got to make it yours. It doesn't matter. Do not ever think the market for skills is oversaturated, or you have to have a college degree to get this done. Listen, most of the successful business people in this world are the richest people. Most of them did not go to college. They did not have a college degree. A lot of them couldn't even read. So let nobody, absolutely nobody, make you feel less of a person or make you feel like because you don't have that you can't make it in life. My darling, look at Keisha. I didn't went to university and I'm pretty successful at what I'm doing. So my dear, it is yours. Your skill is yours. Personalize it, own it, and market it.
Keisha, let's switch gears. You're a successful makeup artist, esthetician, and you now own your own clothing line, Tees by Kesh. Tell us about your successes.
Oh my God. So actually I started Tees by Kesh during the pandemic. How I come about starting Tees by Kesh, I love a good sarcasm, so I'm always wearing sarcasm on my t-shirt. I just think it's just my personality. So usually I wear my t-shirt and I would get a lot of compliments. I start receiving a lot of messages on social media whenever I upload a picture of me wearing like one of my t-shirts, asking me where I get the t-shirt. They want t-shirt, and that's when I decided, you know what, I think this is like a niche market I can break into. So that's how I started the business. I didn't expect my business to take off because basically what I did, I wanted to feel the market out. So most of the time, I uploaded pictures with the t-shirt and the stuff written on it before I even ordered the stuff. So a lot of times they would message me and said, oh, so sometimes I uploaded like 10, 15 pictures and all the shirts are sold and I don't even order the shirts yet. So, so that's how I came about starting Tees by Keish, and I am really grateful for my customers. The business has been going good so far. It's a little bit hectic with taking orders, shipping stuff to Jamaica. I have to be grateful to my sister. She deals with my business there. Oh my God, I don't know how to repay her for doing that for me, because she has a full-time job as well. So doing my business on the side for me while I'm not there is, I'm grateful. And I'm just beyond grateful.
We recently celebrated International Women's Day earlier in March. The plight of women continues to be at the forefront of many discourse that we have both locally in the US, in Jamaica, across the diaspora, also in the Caribbean. Wherever you are, women's issues continue to be at the forefront. What do you want to say to women? How can they raise their self-esteem, get themselves out of poverty, and use the tools that they have at their disposal to make themselves better?
The place. As it relates to poverty and low self-esteem, you got to take small steps. You're not just gonna get up one day and walk down the road and find one bag with money and get rich. You know, work. So when you're in a poverty, you have to make baby steps. You have to get up, you have to tell yourself, say, I want this. You're going to have people in the community or people in general criticize you, especially when time them see you try uplift yourself and take yourself out of the inner city. Let me tell you something, you used to live in the inner city too, you know. I mean, know what it feel like when you try to make progress and people are try tell you, say, you know what, you're not supposed to do this, or yeah, idiot, or you do this for. Listen, when I was going to school, I was told that I need to stop going to school and go look proper work for take care of my kids. But me know within myself, say, listen, the work when me I work, the money when me I work can't take care of my family. It never does go work. So somebody that have to put in the work and the effort, go to school, push through, and get the job that was going to pay me enough to take me out of my circumstances and my situation. So if it means that you have to go find a little job, and if you can save a little dollar here and there, find a skills. I would advise you to find a skill. Find a skill area that you are comfortable with or that you're good in. And from there on, you make step. Because me never take one big step from out of the inner city and put it out on the main road. It never work like that. It was struggling, but I made it. So take it from me. Do not let nobody belittle you, make you feel less of a person, less of a woman, less of a man. Your circumstances in life does not determine who you are, where you're going. Pick yourself up and make the first step. You have to make the first step. The step is not going to come to you. You have to go to the step.
What do you also want to say as it pertains to women and their relationship with each other? What can we do as a collective so that we build our sisterhood and support each other?
We as female need to support each other more. Stop looking at each other as competition, because we are not. Stop tearing each other down. You cannot be preaching women empowerment and doing the opposite. It's just heartbreaking sometimes to see women who should be supporting you, lifting you up, fixing her sister's crown, bringing you down, tearing you down, looking at you as a competition. I mean, you're operating a business. I might be doing makeup. You might be doing makeup. I'm selling t-shirt. You're selling t-shirt. It doesn't matter what we're doing in business. So it's not just business, but in just general, to just support each other. Can you imagine if we as female work together, uplift each other, support each other, how we would have been a force to be reckoned with. We would have been, we would have been firecracker. I mean, we should stop looking at each other as our competition. We are our sister's keeper. We should be lifting up each other. And I just want to say to females out there, stop looking at your sister, your auntie, just about another female as your competition. The only competition you should be in is with yourself. Try to do better than the person you are today. You should be in a competition the next day to be a better version of yourself, not in a competition with another female who you should be fixing her crown. You know what? A lot of times females, they're not comfortable talking about stuff that another female could possibly help them with, in terms of maybe a little motivation. They're going through something that they need somebody to talk to, because you know what, the same females are going to tear them down. I mean, it's not cute. So I would say support each other. We are queens.
Keisha, you live a very hectic lifestyle. You have to balance your business, you're a wife, you're a mother. Tell us, what are some of the things that you do to relax and make sure that you have a very balanced life?
Balancing my life and my family and just about everything. Oh my God, I wish I would say I have balance. Finding time for myself these days is as rare as a pink diamond. Because you know what, usually my day starts from between 5:30 and ends at about 10, 11 o'clock at night, because I have to ensure that I get up, make breakfast for my kids, and ensure that they do their classes online. I have to be back and forth between three kids all day, ensuring that nobody's on YouTube doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing during class time. And I have to be managing my t-shirt business, which is sometimes a little bit hectic. I have to be taking orders, I have to be shipping stuff, and finding time for myself is pretty rare. And so I got my husband who needs my divided attention too. So I have to be spending my time wisely, because by the time my husband gets home from work, I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner because my kids eat a lot. Oh my God. I haven't traveled as much as I wanted to. Last year I was supposed to be down a few countries, but because of COVID, me and my husband and the kids, we didn't get to do that. The year before last year, I went to London. I also been to a few Caribbean islands. I also did a 7-day Caribbean cruise. I went to the Dominican Republic. I went to Puerto Rico. I went to Turks and Caicos, and I also went to the US Virgin Island. This year, we were supposed to be in Italy for our honeymoon, but we're still not sure how we're going to do that with the pandemic going on. But definitely next year, though, we're going to go to Europe, and we're going to go to Germany and France, and I'm sure the kids are going to love it too. So I'm so looking forward to doing that.
Keisha, your wife, mother, successful businesswoman, you've used your adversity to lift yourself out of poverty and transformed your life. And we're absolutely proud of you. Before we go, tell us what three things makes Keisha-Gay Smith phenomenal?
What three things make Keisha-Gay Smith phenomenal? My commitment to my family, myself, and my business. I put extra work into my business, extra attention when it comes to my family and myself. Whatever I set my mind to, I go out there, I work towards it, and I achieve it. My resilience. Nothing can break me. I have been through the storm. I have been through the fire. I have been through the rain, and I'm still standing here giving an interview, talking about snippet of my life, and giving encouraging young girls to not let anybody tell them that they can't. So yes, I am resilient. Oh, passionate. Once I am passionate about something, I put the extra work in it. It doesn't matter what. I am a people person. When it comes to my friends and my family, I'll put myself out on a limb to ensure that I go the extra mile for them. So yes, those things makes me phenomenal. The things I know now, if I know then, listen, me, I'm at a stage in my life where nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, can tell me anything to make me feel bad about myself, because you know what, I've been through the worst. I am Keisha-Gay Smith right now. As a matter of fact, I'm Mrs. Bayer right now. So nobody, absolutely nobody can ever makes me feel belittled or say stuff or, you know, yes. So I am in a much better place.